Welcome back. Rumors from the Korner, episode 15. Today is Wednesday, August 28th. What do you say, Jimbo? How you doing today?
Man, I'm doing pretty good. I'm a little sore though. I need a massage from a massage I got today. Does that ever happen to you?
No. You sore or what?
Well, no, I was fine, and then I bent over to pick up some laundry, and then
Oh, that's no good.
I know. So now I might need another massage from the massage.
You might.
I had today.
Throw an ice pack on there or
That
something.
might be a good idea.
Did you have a good weekend?
Oh man. Well, that's another thing. I played. Yeah, I had a great weekend. Played golf. Went on a little golf trip. 27 holes, 2 days in a row. So that's why.
Oh.
But so maybe that might be a little something to do with it. But it was fun. You know, I've got to say that this kills me to say this, but if I don't mention this, then I'll have to hear about it. And you know who I'm talking about probably. The Mouth of the South, Jamie Powell. Him and his brother did get us on, me and Steve, they did get us through 9 holes. So, on a match play deal. So, hats off to the Powell brothers. They played well, but we'll play again sometime.
Nice win.
Yep. How was your weekend?
Pretty good. Was in Indianapolis.
Soccer?
Yep, for a couple games. And, did you hit the fair at all when it was in town?
Oh, hell yeah, I hit the fair.
Did you?
I love the fair, man.
What's your favorite food at the fair to eat? Or what did you
Okay,
eat?
so like I'm trying to lose a little weight.
Okay.
So I was trying to find like a more of a healthier option at the fair, which is not easy to do.
This should be great.
But-
I can't wait to hear this.
But I think I got a turkey leg. I mean, it's just like a grilled turkey leg.
It's good for you.
I mean, it might be fried. I think it was grilled because it wasn't, and it was huge. I think it's like an ostrich leg. Yeah, I don't think it's a turkey leg.
How much was it?
$20, bro.
Wow.
$20 for a turkey leg. I mean, I could have got a whole turkey, but it is what it is. You're at the fair, and the Saboris did a hell of a job
Always
again
do.
this year, like they always do. And then of course I had to get the corn on the cob.
Oh yeah.
Oh my! I just love that corn on the cob. I mean, and that's just a money grab too. I think that was like $5 for a piece of corn. You get a whole bushel for $5, but it is what it is, man. You're out there, and then of course I've got to go through the flea market. Oh, it's my favorite. And one year I got serious about it and like took like one of them fold up wagons, and I'm like, come on, kids, get in the truck. We're going. And they're like, Daddy, what's the wagon for? And I'm like, just shut up and get in. We got to that flea market. I had dips. Dano's was out there at the time. I had pickles, summer sausage, fudge. Oh, God, I love that fudge. Speaking of fudge. Yeah, fudge. Oh, man. Speaking of fudge. I had a hookup out there at one time. This is back years ago when I used to run the restaurant. And there was a buddy of mine that was helping work for me. Well, he did spare work at the fair to make some extra money. Well, he worked in the fudge booth. So guess who got all the extra fudge?
Wow.
Oh, buddy. I mean, I was everybody's favorite. Everybody's favorite. But no, I do love the fair. And like I said, so this year I went with the turkey and the corn. However, like my go-to every year for the fair, I go straight to the pork producers. I love pork producers. That pork chop sandwich, I love it so much. I mean, I could have went with that without the bread. That would have been fine too, but that turkey leg, yeah.
This is a true story. I got engaged so I didn't have to go to the fair. That's a true story.
So how exactly did that work out? You got engaged, so you didn't have to.
I had
You
the
must
ring.
have really either you loved your wife, or your future wife, to be a whole lot, or you absolutely hate the fair.
I just didn't want to go to the fair. It was about 100 degrees, and I had to work the next morning, and I popped the question, so I didn't have to go to the fair. True story.
Oh, wow. Have you been back to the fair since?
I don't think I have.
Oh, my.
That was a long.
How long have you been
18,
married?
Almost 19 years.
Oh,
so,
my God.
Yeah. Don't go to the fair
Would
very
you know,
often.
I'll be honest with you, though. Honestly, if you let's do this next year, okay? I'm going to film you going to the fair for the first time in 20 years, right? And I guarantee you it'll be like it was 20 years ago. I mean, Farmer Fred's still there. I mean, nothing has changed. Nothing's changed. I mean, the only thing that changes is maybe some of the
Guess your
the
weight
freak
gap still
shows.
there.
The freak shows have changed. There's no more of that. That I used to love that shit, but the concerts are nowhere near as good as they used to be. I mean, they still got some good shows.
Kentucky
out there.
Headhunters.
And they
still out
moved,
there?
but they moved. They kind of moved the what's that main area there?
I haven't been in 20 years.
I know.
don't know.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, we're gonna test that out next year.
All right. Do that. Let's.
Jimbo and Little Buddy head to the fair. First time in 20 years. This is gonna be great.
Let's talk sports now.
Are you still letting your hair grow out too? By the way?
No, I cut it.
I can tell. I'm
cut
so
it.
upset with you right
I
now.
cut it. I had to. It was hot.
We were sitting down at the bar a couple weeks ago. And I said, "You ain't gonna grow your hair." Oh, I'll grow it out. I'll grow it out. That lasted for about 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it was 100 for 3 straight days, and got rid of that. All right, a little high school football. Really no big upsets last week. St. X beat Floyd Central pretty bad, 56-14.
They did what
Expected.
they had to do there.
Everybody played, I'm sure. Trinity beat Bryan Station 28-10. We thought it was going to be – you thought it would be maybe a little bit tougher, so.
Yeah, I mean, I had said it, they would be at least a double-digit favorite. They should win by at least 10 or more is what I said. And they went out there and handled their business. The report I got was that the D-line looked really good. The defensive backs are looking really good. And, obviously they got a big one coming up this weekend.
Yeah, they got they're going at Frederick Douglass. That's a big game. Does Frederick Douglass still have as many D1 guys as they've had in the last couple of years?
It's from what I'm hearing, yes. And Frederick Douglass is just kind of getting to be where they're kind of trying to be on the same realm. Everybody used to say Trinity, St. X, they don't rebuild, they just reload. And that's where Frederick Douglass is at right now. I mean, they've got a bunch of dudes out there. Matter of fact, they went down last Saturday and put a whooping on a good Bowling Green team, which absolutely caught us by surprise. Bowling Green, from what I'm hearing, took the ball straight down the field on the first opening drive, and then Freddie Douglass retaliated with the score and never looked back. So they've got a bunch of dudes on that team. But so does Trinity. Trinity's young. It's going to be a great test for them. Frederick Douglass beat them in the regular season last year, so they're, Trinity's going to want to go down there and give it back to them. And, I think it's going to – I think, honestly, if you wanted me to predict that game, I would probably – I'm going to take Trinity in a field goal. But it could be a field goal either way. It just depends on how these young kids perform. I mean, it's going to be a big stage for them, but we'll see.
I think they're still light on their offensive line a little bit too. Trinity is. Let's see. St. X actually played Frederick Douglass in the scrimmage. Yeah, they got the best of them. What I'd heard.
I just about them scrimmages.
Sure.
I mean, who the hell knows who played? I don't know. I mean, but. It's still, obviously you got to take that into consideration. I mean, they were out there playing the game.
St. X is at home against Central this week. They should win. Central does have that Cortez Stone, that running back, who's getting recruited by a lot of schools.
That's not one of the kids from Manual, was it? You remember?
No. Stone's been there for a couple years. He's a good running back.
Who's he getting?
I know U of L's looking at him. I think Western a couple other schools.
Oh, wow. You know, Western's kind of had a pretty good little pipeline with some Central players down there over the
East
years.
Wales.
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's see. We also got Male Ballard this week. Ballard took a little ass whip in the South
Yeah,
Warren.
you know, but
24-0.
I talked to my boys down there in Warren County, and South Warren is the goods. Though.
Wow.
So I mean, that's not a knock on Ballard. You know, South Warren's got a really good football program. So you know, maybe we were a little higher on Ballard than we should have been, but you know, it's only the first game of the season.
Yep.
We'll see how things shake out.
Male beat Ballard 34-3 last year. So and Harris looked good for Male. Playing quarterback, so we'll see.
Shout out
Should be a good week.
Shout out to my boy, Mr. Kinzel there. What do you have? 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 throwing last week for Male. Mr. Tyson Kinzel, my good buddy Josh's son. So we got to give him a shout out for Male.
Good game. All right, let's go a little NCAA. We had week 0, and now we got week 1.
I'll tell you what, for week 0,
I hope people listen to you.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Well, yeah, I gave out.
I'll listen to you.
What did I do? You
Do the lean.
The old lean. You know, that's all we do is give out winners around here. But it was a hell of a game for the first game of the season. I've got 3 leans we'll get to later on in the program for them this weekend. But yeah, it was a good game to start it off with.
UVL and UK open up this week. UVL is at home at noon versus Austin P. UVL's 36.5-point favored. Yeah, I think my dad and I are going to go out.
That'll be good. Hopefully the rain holds off.
Yeah, I know it's.
I mean, we need rain. Don't get me wrong, but
actually,
good Lord,
might not feel that bad because it's still going to be
right.
High. It's going to be high 80s.
I heard Austin P's coach.
Their O-line
trafficking.
coach.
What was it? Human trafficking.
Yeah.
What is there any? Have you heard any? Reddit?
No, but our defensive line's pretty darn good. So
that's probably
so
the strength of your team.
Losing your offensive line coach the week before your toughest opponent.
I mean,
it could be tough.
What do you think about that number, 36.5?
Honestly, I like Austin P.
Do you really?
Yeah, that's a lot of points. And I think Louisville last year, would they play 9 or 10 quarterbacks in their first game?
I mean, I agree, but and I hate, especially in these first couple, weeks of the season, laying a big number. I don't trust it. I can't do it. But I mean,
I think they win comfortably, but I don't.
It just depends on how much. I mean, let's theoretically speaking. I mean, if they want to do it, they can.
Sure.
They can do it.
Sure.
Or they hope they'll be able to.
Then we got UK Saturday night, 7:45 at home against Southern Miss. I think UK's given 28.
It's breaking my heart. I'm not going to be there, but I do get to go watch my daughter play volleyball, though. So that's a lot better than going to a UK opener against Southern Miss. I'll tell you that right now. But the Cats, what are we favorite by?
28.
28.
Yeah. I think UK wins like 42-3.
See, I don't. You don't. You like Austin P to cover against Louisville. I think Louisville's going to cover that one. I think.
Who's playing running back for UK?
Well,
I know their guys hurt. The Ohio State.
I'll have to refer. I know I know the guys. I don't know the names. So let me refer to our man Brodog here. Brodog, help me out. Yes, Sumo Carbeg. He is a transfer from NC State. Okay. He got some time. He got a little time last year, and when he did play, he looked really good. So I'm excited about him. He kicks the ball out of the backfield. And then I think we have a redshirt freshman also that's going to be getting some clock. Wilcox. I mean, supposedly these guys can run the ball. We are just a little bit thin. We don't have the depth that we usually have there. But from everything that I'm hearing, I mean, they're going to be able to play.
All systems go.
Yeah. I'm just excited to see the quarterback. In my opinion, I think I said this last week, I think UK is going to go as far as our quarterback takes us. And we've only, and you've always gotten on me about UK playing the soft schedule and all this. Well, guess who we got rolling into town next week? South Carolina, right off the get.
I was going to say like Kent State or
I
Central
know,
Michigan.
exactly. It's different this year.
It is. I will give you credit. Your schedule is way harder.
Yeah, so with that being said, we're going to have to look a little bit more crisp earlier in the season than we have in years past. And that usually is not our MO with Stoops. But we also have the most talent we've ever had under Stoops' regime. So, but we also have a new OC again. Hopefully our tempo's a little bit faster this year. It's been really slow in the past. Actually, it was the slowest last year. So that's another thing. I hope we're going to have a little bit faster tempo this year. I would love to see us win by 42-3. Honestly, I think our defense is going to be great. I mean, probably Southern Miss at the most scores 10 points at most. So, it is what it is there.
All right, games of the week. We got a little ACC, SEC action. Clemson and Georgia play at noon on Saturday. I think Georgia's 13.5-point favorite. Who you like?
I would take Georgia in that one. Just everything that I'm hearing. I mean, they are the cat's meow again. I mean, until Clemson, until they find that quarterback, they just haven't been as good in the past. So I'm taking Georgia.
They don't use the transfer portal either.
They don't. Isn't that crazy? I mean,
you would think they would suck, but somehow they.
I mean, I tip my hat to them, for standing the ground and but let's see how long this can hold up for.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Georgia to win. It's going to be close to the spread. I don't really like it either way. I think Georgia wins a couple touchdowns. So.
Yep, I'm just giving an opinion there. No lean or unbuckle.
Then we got 3:30. We got the Hurricanes, who everybody thinks they're good again. I don't see it. Versus Florida. Florida's got the toughest schedule in the country. They probably need to start out 1-0, or their coach is going to be.
Yeah, I mean, he's already
on the hot seat. He's already on the hot seat, but.
And they're not really everything that I've read or heard. They've not really done a whole lot in the off season as far as bringing in super transfers or whatnot. Man, I don't think either one of these teams are that good. If I would play anything in this game, I would probably look to play the under. Honestly.
I like Florida. It's not a game that I'm like, I think Florida's going to kick their ass. I think Florida's going to win.
If I had an opinion, I'd take Florida.
I think they're catching 2 or 3. So
I always love a home. I love home dogs catching points.
Every year for the last 5 years, people keep talking about this is Miami's year. They're back. They have a new coach. Their coach is terrible.
I agree.
I mean, he lost that one game last year by not kneeling the ball. I mean, that's all I need to know. Yeah, I like Florida in that game. 7 o'clock, we've got the Fighting Western Hilltoppers going down to Bama.
Shout out to Big Baby, my daughter, and her topperettes and all the other toppers and AO pies and all that. They're all heading down there. Big game. They're all excited. I mean,
I would be too.
That's what college football is all about. College is all about,
Bama's given 31. I did see that Bama is paying Western the most of any school in the country to come down to take an ass whipping. Hey, $1.9 million.
1.9. We'll take it. We'll take an ass whipping for 1.9. We can do a lot with that down there in Bowling Green. Hey, I know they got some dorms down there that need to be fixed too.
I like Bama giving the points, just for the simple fact that people aren't talking about Bama as much as they were a couple years ago. Georgia's the big dog now, no pun intended. They're the big dog now.
So you're thinking like Bama, like their new coach is going to come out and they're just going to want to freaking put the pedal to the metal on my. They're saying, if we're going to pay you 1.9, I'm allowed to whoop your ass as bad as I want to. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah, I mean, he kind of has to.
I don't know, though. I don't know. Western has an opportunity to win this conference this year. They're not going to get walked over. Obviously, obviously they're outmanning every position.
Sure.
Except for maybe, no, they're outmanned at every position. However, this particular offense these toppers run, I mean, they're not going to be able to stop Alabama, but they might put up a couple touchdowns against them.
They got a quarterback, their starting quarterback. He's been to like 3 schools, but 2 of them have been SEC schools.
And that's a big debate in Bowling Green right now. You know why?
Why?
Well, you remember that kid that he was in the transfer portal, elected to take them and play.
Oh yeah,
play in the bowl game. He comes in the bowl game, ends up throwing for 500 something yards.
Yeah.
He decides to stay,
and they gave this other kid.
And this other kid comes in. They're giving him a starting job. So, we'll see.
Controversy.
Yes. Keep an eye on that on the Hill.
All right, we got a 7:30. We got Notre Dame going to A&M.
By the way, I think WKU covers the spread.
Covers a 31.
Yes, it's actually
no leans.
It's no. Just an opinion. I mean, I actually think it's up to 33 now.
A&M's given 3 to Notre Dame. Notre Dame has 6 starts between their whole offensive line. They lost a lot. What do you think?
Man,
the Fighting Bobby Petrinos. He's at Arkansas now.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you. I'm never huge on Notre Dame until I see them. They got to prove it to me. I'm fresh out of the gate. Just an opinion. I would take A&M.
I'm taking Notre Dame in the points. I don't know. Just sounds good.
I mean, it could be. I mean, A&M was terrible last year.
Notre Dame's got Duke's quarterback, Riley Leonard, Duke's old quarterback. He's pretty good.
Yeah, he was. He was really good. A&M underachieved so bad last year. You know what I'm saying? And, so that could be a good play there.
And then Sunday we've got LSU and USC at 7:30.
Uh-oh.
Why don't they – I got a little bone to pick with. Why don't
who? Who are you picking bones with already?
The scheduling committee. Why wouldn't you have a Sunday?
I see
why
what
wouldn't
you're
you have like a Sunday 4:00 game and then a 7:30 game? Instead, you have one game at 7:30. LSU's 4.5 point favorite over USC.
Here's the only thing I could think of, Clay, is a lot. It's Labor Day weekend. Maybe a lot of people are out barbecuing and. They're visiting with family or they're out on the lake all day, and then that evening they can all when the dust settles and they all get back home and relax, then they pop on the tube.
Okay.
But you'd rather see a double header though.
Okay, well, I mean they got one game Monday at 7:30.
They're going to do it all day on Saturday.
Why don't we have 2 on Monday then?
I totally agree.
It's like
why is Florida State get to play 2 weeks in a row? Prime time, nobody else playing. What's that all about? Is that because they were crying so much and trying to get it?
It didn't hurt my feelings.
I hope Boston College beats them.
All right, LSU, USC. Who you like?
This is a lean for me, brother.
Me too. Me too.
I think LSU absolutely dog walks USC in this game.
USC's defense last year, even though they did beat Louisville, USC's defense was not good, and they're not playing Louisville; they're playing LSU. So.
Yeah,
I like LSU. I like the lean on LSU also.
Boom, double lean.
That's right.
Give me a lean back, Clay. Come on, one time.
Did you look at my notes?
Give me a lean back one time. Come on. There you go. Yeah, lean back.
All right.
Lean back.
Monday, Florida State 17 over BC. Is Georgia Tech good, or is Florida State just not that good? What do you think? 17-point favorite?
I don't think Florida State's as good as advertised, and I think Georgia Tech was a little bit better than advertised.
Okay. I like Florida State minus 17.
Do you?
Yeah.
You look for a rebound here? And
yeah.
Just a fluke game over in Ireland.
Plus, it's their second game.
They were over there doing that Irish jig all night, drinking that Irish whiskey.
BC's got, they haven't played yet. Florida State's at least.
I'm with you. So. I'd probably have to take Florida State there too. I've got two other leans for you.
Talk to me.
I'll
write them down.
I am taking North Dakota State plus the 9.5 against Colorado. Colorado is always overrated. Well, not always, but after what they did last year, they're going to be overrated. Prime time. This number's in flux. It's moving up because everybody's betting on.
North Dakota State is legit.
North Dakota State is a smaller school that is always
it's a one
playing for the national championship in their division. This is like the biggest game for of their season.
I can't believe Colorado's playing that.
I know.
Stupid.
I mean, now granted, it's just like, Colorado's going to out-athlete them and everything else like that. But I hear behind the scenes that down in Colorado, it's a shit show down there. I mean, seriously. I mean, they got the talent, but buddy, Deion's got his hands full down there, because they've got a bunch of superstars, a bunch of them. Let's see if he can get them to play as a team. I don't think it's going to happen first week. North Dakota State plus 9.5.
A lot of egos. Who's your second game?
Second game, golly, it's trying to remember who they're playing. Oh, I know who I'm taking. Speaking of Georgia Tech, coming back off a huge win.
Biggest win in years.
Okay. They've got to play a little team right down the road there, Georgia State, another Division I AA team that is always playing, catching 20.5. I'm taking Georgia State. Looking for Georgia Tech to have the letdown there. So just to recap, my three leans this week, LSU minus the 4, Georgia State plus 20.5, North Dakota State plus 9.5. And you've got to lean on
LSU.
Okay.
If you like money, we're telling you to take. He's 1 for 1 this year, so.
And do us a favor. Because we don't lose in the long run. So do us a favor. Make sure you tell your friends. Subscribe to us, okay? We've got, I know Little Buddy and I we got aspirations of what we can do with this show. I mean, Bro Dog is just foaming at the mouth as a producer. Like, Dad, you need microphones here. You need to be out interviewing here. And I'm like, you know what? I will. When the people start subscribing and this thing starts to take off.
I can't wait. Does Brody know he probably won't be going to senior year of high school at Trinity because we'll be on the road.
We'll be on the road all the time. Yeah. That might save me a little money. Huh?
All right, we had the Travers last week. Anything else for football you want to talk about?
No, sir. We just to let everyone know, though, we will next week's show we'll be focusing on the NFL, giving you some over-unders, predictions, all that good stuff.
Travers, what a race! Summer Derby.
My goodness.
It was a great race.
My goodness. I had them all. You had them all. I just had them in the wrong order. It was a hell of a race. I mean, fierceness. My goodness, just holding on there. Johnny V with a tremendous ride. You thought Sierra Leone makes a move. You think he's coming over the top. He can't get there, and then all of a sudden, the filly. Oh my goodness. She ran her eyeballs out. Oh my gosh! I thought she was going to.
Much respect to her. She.
Oh my goodness.
She's.
I mean,
unbelievable.
And I tip my hat to the connections. McPeak and
sure.
And they could have ran in that Alabama and won it easily.
Yep.
And just took the easy way out. But they said no. I want to see how damn good my horse is, and so does everybody else in America. And that's what makes horse racing great when they do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Fierceness won, paid $980, $570, and $340. Torpedo Anna was second, paid $5 and $320, and Sierra Leone $220 to show. The $1 exacta paid $28. Be interesting to see.
A great exacta, $28 for a buck. But who knows how much was in that pool?
It was so weird that Sierra Leone, we were talking, you might get 4 or 5 to 1. Hell, he was the favorite, wasn't he?
Was like 5 to 2, I think it went off at.
And Fierceness, I think, was about 4 to 1, almost maybe 9-2, and Torpedo Anna was up there too. I couldn't believe those odds.
Yeah,
That was a gift.
Everybody was kind of thinking the same way you and I both were, but I mean, if they, if our followers, just took our top 4 picks and boxed them, they could have had the super, the try, and everything else. But but no, it was great. It was great to see the Philly, yeah.
We got the first Derby prep this Monday, closing day at Saratoga.
It's always
Labor
a sad day when the spa closes.
The Hopeful. I see there's 7 horses, I think, in the race. Obviously, this is always a tough race to pick. And usually whoever wins this race, once we get to April and it's nowhere even close.
You don't hear about it.
Yeah.
Just because it's so early.
Yeah, yeah.
Brody was asking me about this the other day. He's like, Dad, have any of the Derby horses ran yet? And I said, well, some of them have ran. We don't know. We don't know they're going to be Derby horses. And I said,
Right.
More than likely, the majority of the 2-year-olds haven't even ran yet. So yeah.
There's 2 horses that kind of stood out for me. Incentive Pay, Chad Brown horse. He won a maiden special at Saratoga on July 20th. And Minty won a maiden special at Aqueduct on June 15th. That's Todd Pletcher's horse. Kentucky Downs is opening this week, too.
Oh, my gosh. I love Kentucky Downs. I mean, what a way for the spa to end.
One of the horses.
Kentucky Downs comes in.
One of the races is $3 million race. I mean, that's most than. That's like a Breeders' Cup or.
Absolutely, man.
Amazing.
The maiden specials are $175,000, dude. That is crazy. Just to kind of put that in perspective, when I purchased my first horse, going back, this was totally Tucker. Going back, that was probably 15 years ago. Her maiden special was $52,000.
Wow.
It's crazy.
Quick tip for Kentucky Downs if you've never played it before. Pretty much don't even look at the odds. Like, don't just throw them out. If you like a horse that's 40-1, then bet it, because you're going to see some crazy numbers coming in. And this track is so different and weird that literally anybody can win.
Yes, that's great advice.
Do not bet the favorite, because the favorite very rarely wins.
No, that is great advice. And to add to your point, another little tip that I've learned over the years, if you look and they're training over that facility, because not a lot of the horses get to Kentucky Downs in time to actually train on that track. Some of them bring their barns down there fairly early to train on that track. Watch the ones that have trained on the track. That's a good way to...
Mike Maker always does good there. Gaff Leone is always a good jockey there. I think Maker pretty much wins the meet every year.
Yeah, keep an eye on also the a lot of the foreign guys, from Europe, jocks. They like that particular track. They'll run good there too as well, because it reminds them of racing back home
Sure.
too. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to keep an eye on. And Clay and I, we love to play those supers in those big races, and all of them are big. I mean, they're all 10 to 12 horse field. We like to play those super effective boxes. Play a 10-cent super effective box. Throw 6 horses in there. Yeah, that might cost you $60, but I mean, these things can pay out upwards of $600 for a $60 bet. And that'll happen quite often there.
Yep.
So. But I'm excited. You going down?
I might go down. Yeah, I've actually never been there.
Well, I'm going to try to get you down there. We're going to head down not this week, but next week. So I'll try to get you down
I've
there.
been invited 100 times. It can never work out. It's a tough trip.
Well, and the thing about it is they don't run all the time. They only run like 7 times out of the year. It's hard to figure it out. So.
Right.
But, if you ever get a chance, though, Kentucky Downs is awesome. Highly recommended.
We want to thank our partner today, Pat Norris. Call Pat, 502-528-3600. He specializes in painting, kitchen cabinets, decks, power washing, give Pat a call.
Big old dicks. He does big dicks, little dicks. He does all the dicks.
So help our friend Pat out. He helps us out. He's a good dude.
All right, man. Hey, everybody, have a great Labor Day weekend. Stay safe. Be careful, especially if you're out there on them water. Be careful.
Put on your sunscreen, too. You're going to need that.
That's right.
Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, and we will see you again next week.
Can't wait till next week.
Have a great week.